Right, we begin with Operation Sindoor, which targeted terrorist infrastructure across Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir using a range of advanced precision strike systems. Now, what is coming up are among the key weapons India is believed to have used during the operation. The SCALP missile, also known as Storm Shadow, a long-range air-launched cruise missile designed for deep strikes developed by the MBDA. It can hit high-value stationary targets like bunkers and command centers. With a range of over 500 kilometers, SCALP missiles offer stealth and precision against distant fortified sites. The Hammer missile, or the highly agile modular munition extended range missile, is a modular air-to-ground weapon by Safran. It supports GPS, infrared, or laser guidance, making it ideal for hitting both stationary and mobile targets. Now, in Operation Sindur, it enabled the precise engagement of medium-range terror assets, complementing SCALP's long-range reach. Now, kamikaze drones, also known as loitering munitions, were used to monitor and identify targets. Now, these drones remain airborne, engaging selected threats through autonomous systems or remote human control. Their real-time surveillance and strike capabilities enhance the precision and effectiveness of Operation Sindoor's missile strikes. And now we have Lieutenant General Arun Sani, former General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Indian Army, and President, Information Security Council of India, joining us. Thank you, sir, for being with us. We also have Ambassador Manju Sheth, the former Indian diplomat and distinguished fellow of Forum for Global Studies, New Delhi, joining us here in the studio. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Let me begin by asking Ambassador Manju Sheth, lots of speculation as we talk about the drones that we use and the missiles that we use, the SCALP missiles and the hammers. There's lots of questions on whether the BrahMos was used or not.
I don't know about BrahMos being used, but all indigenous, I believe, weapons were used and very effectively used, and including countering the drones and their aircraft that were trying to attack us. So I think we have really been able to deploy our entire assets. And I think that sent the right message. It's not right, let me put it as a strong message to Pakistan that they cannot take us for granted. They thought that maybe India wouldn't respond and maybe India wouldn't take the action that we did take. And the way we targeted each and every of their targets precisely without collateral damage, I think has sent a very clear message to Pakistan and to the world community that we did not wish to, the escalation happened because of what the Pakistanis did after our precise attack on their terror targets. And they really escalated this, and we had no option but to respond with all our available strength and our weapons and weapon systems and ammunition that we used.
Right, and respond we did, and what a response that was. Lieutenant General Arun Sani, what India's missiles did was that it brought Pakistan's air defense to its knees and obliterated it in the first go.
Absolutely. Jai Hind, and delighted to be on your show. I think what you have stated and what we've been seeing for the last 3-4 days on the media, I think the effectiveness of our indigenization program and the capability enhancement that's happened in the last decade has come to fore. I mean, they keep talking about the asymmetry that existed between India and Pakistan not really being substantial. But today, when we see the impact that has happened in the last 3 days or 4 days of action that has happened, it has proven that the Indian-made weapon systems are equally potent, if not better, than some of the best that are there in the world. The second fact is that I think our control and reporting system, our air defense network, the enhancement of the kind of radar systems that have come in has given us that capability to be able to identify targets far off, even if they were the land cruise missiles or those which came along with the nap of the earth, and effectively engage them. And as I said, today we've got a full range of weapons, starting off from the Zu-23s, which look at about 3 kilometers, to the L-70s, to the Akashas, to the Pechoras, going on to the, as far as the air defense setup is concerned, you've gone into the era of the S-400s. So I think their missiles and everything has come into play. Sorry, radars have come into play. And then the correct nominated weapon which is required to hit a particular target has been done. And I think that's been done very effectively. So I think it has proven to the world the capability of India. I think it's proven to the world that our response has always been measured and mature. We have only hit terrorist targets or terrorist infrastructure, and we have gradually upgraded it in our response, whether it was 16, whether it was 19, or it is now. Now we have hit the nerve centers. We've said, sorry, I mean, it doesn't make a difference if we hit 100 terrorist camps, because the factory of terrorism, which is what Pakistan state is, will produce some more hereafter. And I think that will not see an end. But I think now we've hit the nerve center. And I think the collusivity of the Pakistan army in hand with the terrorist organization has come to fore. I mean, it's there for the world to see. I mean, if they don't want to see it and ignore it and close their eyes like the ostrich, well, we can't do anything about it. But if you look at it, undoubtedly, there has been a great improvement in that sense, that we have been able to show the collusivity. I mean, on the funerals, you had generals and the whole state paraphernalia that was giving it the necessary capacity and respect. So I think we have achieved a lot. I would say that it's good that we did not go into the contact phase or the physical phase of contact that had to come in. The standoff kinetic attacks happened, irrefutable evidence given to the people, and the capability of the Indian Armed Forces in the combined unit has come. This, of course, has to be given full credit to the political leadership and that of the Prime Minister. I think his resolute leadership to take the full hog and be ready to say that I will be willing to leave it to my armed forces to engage was the first indication or signaling that the country is together and he's willing to go to war. I think we've started the stage of setting deterrence in place for subsequent strikes. And yesterday, when they announced that the terrorist act will be taken as an act of war, I think we have now clinched it. That hereafter, India will not sit silent if you try and carry out terrorist attack. Right. And we do not have to prove the attributability to anybody in the world. As long as it points to Pakistan, we will take necessary retaliatory action. I think one of the most outstanding things that has happened, Indus Water Treaty, economic capabilities, and economic actions, and military action. I think this utilization of the state apparatus or the instruments of military power, of the nation's power, right, has been synergized in the best manner that you could see.
Right. Ambassador Manju said, there is military kinetic action, non-kinetic action as it's called, military action, diplomatic action. What has happened so far is only a cessation of military action, so to speak, and even that there are question marks over it with the kind of ceasefire violations that Pakistan has committed, whereas all the diplomatic efforts so far remain, including the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty.
Absolutely. We have not removed that or ceased to make that effective, and including visas, ban on visas, right, including all those steps that we have taken remain in place, and they are not being put on hold. It's only cessation, as you said, of military activity, and that is the only thing that is seized. And even that, as you said, there have been violations, and I think that is totally unacceptable, and we have responded. But fortunately, I believe after the initial violations, there has been no further.
Yeah, there has been no, but at this stage I have to ask a question. There is, for all the viewers, tuning into this broadcast, there has been peace and calm for the last 6 to 8 hours, so to speak, and no fresh firing, shelling has been reported. But what did happen, just a couple of hours ago was US President Donald Trump putting out another post on social media platform Truth Social, talking about the fact that, it's a historic achievement that, they've called for peace. And here we are in India wondering, where, he first announced that ceasefire, and about 3 hours after his announcement, we saw drones from Pakistan and heavy shelling from Pakistan. So how do you read into what Donald Trump has said now, in which he said that he was going to substantially increase trade with India and Pakistan? Is that maybe a hint to what he was arriving at?
I think he's just trying. I mean, in this particular case, I think because the bases the Pakistan air bases were being targeted, and since both, the nuclear sort of base is also somewhere close by, the nuclear headquarters, and I think that would have created little alarm bells for everybody that if that gets targeted and there's going to be a problem, they didn't want it to reach that stage, and Pakistan itself panicked from what I can understand. And therefore, what the President Trump is trying to do now, he's trying to say that it's okay, now it's all under control, and he's trying to get one more feather in his cap and say, he was talking of all the other ceasefire deals for Ukraine, for Israel,
which haven't held true either.
Which haven't held true either. So now that this is almost holding true, he hopes it could be, it could be more sustainable, but for us it has to be sustainable. If this ceasefire and the end to terrorism is not sustainable, then I think we are going to, as we have said very clearly, that if there's any further terror attack, it's going to be considered an act of war.
Right.
So I think that is a very clear message on this whole thing. The ceasefire is there, but, with all these things, and our diplomatic and our other measures that we have taken remain in place.